Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut. I hope you like this video and subscribe. We're going to talk about the manager in this video, but there's been a lot of roster moves going on over really the past week. David Stearns has gone in and he's getting rid of a lot of players. A lot of players have been released, specifically in the minor leagues, but they put a whole bunch of players on outright waivers from the 40-man roster. I'm going to go through the names and then we'll get into this video on Craig Counsell and the Mets managerial situation. Players that were given the outright waivers: Peyton Battenfield, John Curtis, Alicia Hernandez, which is an interesting name. A lot of these guys are obviously Billy Epler guys. Hernandez in particular, and Curtis. Bryce Montes de Oca, who's coming off, he's in the middle of Tommy John rehab. Denny Reyes, outfielder Tim LaCashel, the designated pinch runner for that dope Daniel Vogelback. This is, of course, a couple weeks ago. The Mets also got rid of and put on waivers Rafael Ortega, Danny Mendick, Vinny Natoli, Michael Perez, Jonathan Iruaz. I'd say his name right. It doesn't matter. Anthony Kay. They picked up off of waivers Penn Murphy. We'll see what happens with him. He just recently had Tommy John. We might not see him this year. Carlos Carrasco had become a free agent on Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, I think, is the beginning of the time where teams can talk to free agents. So right now, the Mets 40-man roster has about 33 players on it. Also, Brooks Raley's option was picked up by the Mets. I've not heard anything about Adam Ottavino. On Monday, they have options on non-tender candidates. Sam Coonrod, Trevor Gott, who should be out of here. Jeff Brigham, bring him somewhere else. Get him out of here. And, of course, the annoying Drew Smith, who should be gone too. These guys should all be out of here. Get rid of all of them. That's how I look at it. Again, Nomar Narvaez, he picked up his option that he had with the Mets. Luis Guillorme, who is on the roster, he should be non-tendered as well. Mets should not pick up his. He is a one-dimensional player who doesn't, and if he doesn't do well offensively, defensively, he's useless. He's a useless player. Get him out of here. What else? DJ Stewart. He's arbitration eligible, and he's projected to make $1.5 million. That is an interesting name. There's only 3 players that are outfielders on the Mets 40-man roster currently, so I would expect the Mets will pick up that opt-out. They'll have make some kind of deal. And then there's Daniel Vogelback. Now David Stearns non-tendered him once before, and he should get him out of here right now. He is a symbol of the ineptitude of the 2023 Mets. He must go. He must get his ass out of here. Mets will never be a winning organization as long as you have a guy that is a one-dimensional player like him, and his one dimension is not very good. As long as he's on this team, they're not going to win. You can't carry him on your roster. So let's talk about the Mets managerial situation. Word has come down on Thursday that the Mets interviewed face-to-face Craig Counsell. Now, the word last night, and I guess the interview went well. Last night, the word came down that Craig Counsell will decide who will be his employer based on who gives him the most money. That's the word. I'm very surprised. He does not come across as a guy. Just looking at my own standpoint, watching this player when he played, and obviously as a manager for all these years. The word is that if the money is equal, he will go to the Brewers. He'll stay with the Brewers. If that's the case, then just don't even bother talking to him. But the Mets have a bit of a problem because they fired Buck Showalter. The problem is not with us, really with the organization. The problem is with the media. Because I was watching last night, the media is already complaining that because the Mets let Buck Showalter go, who they complained that he should have been fired, that if the Mets don't hire Craig Counsell, that this is a failure. I'll have some kind of response if we have a different manager other than Craig Counsell here on the baseball hut too. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of insane kind of behavior and insane kind of comments going on in WFAN in particular. But a couple of candidates have popped up. Carlos Mendoza, who was the bench coach for the Yankees. I didn't even know they had a bench coach named Carlos Mendoza. He's considered to be a very serious candidate, believe it or not. Andy Green, the former manager of the Padres, who's been the bench coach with the Cubs with the manager, David Ross. He is a candidate. Now, if that is a name, that would be a very polarizing name here if the Mets name him as manager, because his numbers there in San Diego were not very good. But then he did not have the talent that Bob Melvin had. So just keep that in mind. And then there was a new name, Mark Counsell, the manager of the Oakland Athletics, who, if he were to be hired, I can guarantee you that the media will call him Art Howe 2.0, just based on the fact that he has been the manager of the A's. Now, the A's have zero talent. They have nothing there. So I don't know what kind of manager he would be here. Like I said, this is not an easy job here in New York. That's why I have my questions and my doubts on Craig Counsell. Because he's been in small markets his whole career. How would he handle the pressure of being here in New York? That's the first thing. And having to deal with this insane media, specifically the radio media. And how would he deal with all the sort of non-stories that are made into stories, and he's got to squash them. If he's going to come here for the money, he might not be the right guy to be the manager, because the manager is the spokesperson for the team. He is not a player. You can insulate a player that comes to a team based off of the contract that he's getting from that team. A manager is very different. He's not shown that he has been. Who knows? I don't even know. I mean, he's done a great job in Milwaukee, but it's Milwaukee. No insulting the people in Wisconsin, but it's not New York. I mean, it's not the kind of insanity you deal with here. I mean, this is crazy here. And like I've said many times, the Mets do not get any. They do not get any kind of benefit of the doubt here. There's been zero talk, folks. Let me tell you something, how quiet things here with the Yankees side of town. The media isn't talking about the Yankees. They've been a disaster. They've not gone to the World Series since 2009. And that group, the Aaron Judge, Aaron Boone group, has been a failure. And you don't hear anything. We've heard nothing here. I've done very few videos on the Yankees. The Yankees should have fired their manager. They didn't do it. They should have fired the general manager. They didn't do it. And the media has just sort of been very quiet. They've just been hammering the Mets. The Mets have been very proactive in what they want to do. The owner doesn't want to get complacent, and he got rid of people and brought in a big name in baseball to run this organization. And again, no pressure on the Yankees, but there's a lot of pressure here. Now, Dave Stearns, I think he can handle it because he worked here, he's lived here. I think he understands the nature of the beast here. Whoever is going to be the next manager, can they handle the media? The one thing we know about Buck Showalter, he handled the media great. And he was in the media for a while. How's Craig Counsell going to deal with these assholes on WFAN making up stories about his first baseman? How's he going to handle a YouTuber like myself complaining? Although up until May, I wasn't really complaining that much about the ball club. But I just want the Mets to win. That's the most important thing I want to see happen. But how does Craig Counsell handle things here if he's hired? And do you want a guy here that's coming here, if things are equal in terms of the money, he's going to go back to Milwaukee. And there are other good jobs out there. The Mets and the Brewers aren't the good jobs, not only good jobs out there. We got the Guardians job, it's a good job. The Astros have a good job. This is he has the pick of wherever he wants to go. You know, he's managed in Milwaukee for a long time. Does he want to leave that comfort zone there? I don't know, but he'll go there. But if the money's equal, he'll stay. So you want a guy here that's going to go back to Milwaukee if it's the money's equal? I don't know. I really don't know at this point. This is a very right now. I would say it's about percentage wise. I said to start the process with 65% chance he comes here. Also, before I forget, little Andy Martino reported last night that the Mets will have a manager in place by next week. So we'll know by next week, and I've been saying that. If we don't hear about Craig Counsell by the end of next week, which is the GM meetings next week in Major League Baseball, then he will not be the manager. So we'll know by the end of next week who the manager is. And you need to hit that subscribe button so you'll know what's going on with the Mets and with this managerial situation. This is an unknown, because really I don't know Craig Counsell other than when he played against the Mets and he's managed against the Mets. I don't know much about him, to be honest with you. I have no feel on it. So I'm going based on reports. They say a 50-50 chance. Some people are saying that. I think that the 60% that I was saying now, it was a 65 to 62 to 60%. I would say it's about 57% chance that he's here. So it's dropping over the past week. So you let me know what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut, and I'll see you later.